Hey guys, if you're watching the recording, thank you so much for jumping on and joining us for today's Tuesday wellness tip. I'm going to give people just a couple minutes to jump on. I had to do today's tip a little bit earlier than normal, so I don't know that we'll have a big, huge crowd. I think a lot of people are putting kiddos to bed and doing all that fun stuff. So just give me about 30 seconds to wait until this hops on live to everybody's notifications, and we'll get started. All right, I'm starting to get a few notifications. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. I'm super excited to share with you tonight a little bit about reading. And so we talked about getting up early, and so many of you were super excited about the idea of getting up early and making a change in your routine. And one of the things that I shared about my morning routine was a little bit of personal development. And you're probably thinking all of the things that I thought when I first heard about personal development. I thought, that is not for me. That is crazy. I am college educated. I don't need to read personal development books, right? But I came to find that it has helped my life in so many ways. So today I'm just going to share with you the 5 ways that it's helped impact my life. And then I'm going to share with you some of my very, very favorite books that you could try out if you think it might help you. So the first way, number 1, is that personal development, just like professional development, like you would do for your job, you do the same thing for yourself. And the first goal, or the first thing that really helped me, is that it helps you create goals and give you like a sense of direction. So I think as a teacher, I have a lot of goals, and as like a business person, I have a lot of goals, but I don't think I had as many goals as, you know, what in being a mom or a friend or a wife. Like, I think those things are just as important. And reading and learning really helped me grow goals in all areas of my life and kind of gave me a sense of direction and a purpose. Because I feel like as busy women and moms and, you know, busy men that have careers and all of those, I think it's so easy to get a little bit lost, right? And feel like the day-to-day is just the same kind of thing, and you don't have a lot of direction. And I remember, especially after I had my little one, just feeling like you got up and did the same exact thing every single day and then went to sleep. And so personal development was so important to kind of keep me on a path, give me some really good direction. And then, you know, what happens when you start making goals for all parts of your life and kind of like reaching for those goals and working for those goals, new opportunities come about that you would not have noticed before. And so I really think that personal development has been huge in the choices that I've made in life and things that I may not have noticed before I started reading books and learning a little bit more about myself. So career opportunities, relationship opportunities, you know, personal, just all kinds of things that come about. So goals and direction is number 1. Number 2, self-esteem. Okay, again, I know I'm talking to women here, but I think overall, due to like social media and comparing, a lot of women compare our lives to somebody else's life. And you know how they always say Facebook is what you're watching is somebody else's highlight reel, and you think you're watching their whole life. So I think it's so easy to start comparing ourselves and kind of knocking ourselves down as a mom, as a friend, you know, all of those things. Sometimes you feel like you're just like swimming above water or barely above water. And I think self-esteem is huge, and confidence is so attractive. And so relationships that we want to build, goals that we want to meet, just go so much better when you feel good and positive about yourself. And your abilities. I think you have to be confident in what you can do and what you're capable of. Okay, so self-esteem was number 2. Number 3 is a better self and better relationships. I feel like it's so important, like we talked about, like it is to grow your skills in your job, just as important to grow your skills as a person. And I'm definitely a stronger person. I have a lot more fulfilling relationships. And that sounds crazy, but in all of this reading, I've kind of learned that relationships can either lift you up or they can drag you down. And so reading has really helped me decide like what relationships in my life are helping lift me up and which ones were kind of pulling me down. And so I'd put more time, more effort into those that are lifting me up, those that are doing great things for me, and keeping me positive and feeling happy, and not spending so much time or putting so much priority on those relationships that just weren't doing good things for me. So again, I don't think I ever would have made those connections had I not done some self-development and figured out a little bit more about what I was looking for and being a little more self-aware. So better self, better relationships. And you guys, there are self-development books on all kinds of things. So you can find books on marriage and on friendships and all, working together as a coworker. I mean, you can find books on anything. So we're talking any kind of relationship here. You can learn about and grow. The fourth way is that it's changed is motivation, dedication, and grit. Okay, I did not know what most of those words were before I started reading about these things. So I will tell you that reading some of these books has given me such a huge positive outlook on everything. It has changed how much I'm dedicated to my job. It's changed how much I'm dedicated to my business. It has just, things that really drive other people crazy at work just don't matter to me. I just have such a positive outlook many times now that things would have used to really bother me, and now they just don't. And I'm not saying I'm happy 24/7. I'm just saying that after doing some of this research, it's just so much easier to see the positive side of things. And I learned about grit, you guys. I'm actually listening to a book in the car right now about grit, and I've learned so much about having a goal and never giving up on it. I think in the past, I would jump from goal to goal to goal. What seemed easy? What was the next hot thing? What did I want to work on next? Where I've really learned to focus, create focus, and go after one important thing. And then when you have direction, it becomes easier to see the benefits of action. Okay, so we're getting a little deep here, but if you have a goal and you're working for it, it's so easy. Sometimes if you don't have a goal, to be I'll get to that tomorrow, right? I'll put that on my to-do list tomorrow. Where if you have a goal, you're this one little thing I do tonight before I go to bed is going to help me reach that goal. And you guys, I learned all of this from reading. And then so number 4 was motivation, dedication, and grit. And then number 5 is I just have a truly, truly greater resilience to things now. So let's talk about life, right? There's always ups, there's always downs in life. In business, in being a mom, in every part of your life and your wellness and your health and your weight and all of these things, there's ups and downs, right? And so reading all of these books has really given me the confidence to be resilient in the times that you're down in one of those valleys, in the times that you feel like you should quit. I've just learned from a lot of my reading that you can never quit something when you're in a valley. You have to be resilient. You have to be up on top. And if then you decided something you want to quit, then you can go ahead and quit. But I just never give myself permission to quit anything when I'm down in the lower part of life, or of my business or of, things in general. And the last part of that is just, I already talked about how things just don't bother me nearly as much because I have that greater resilience now. So those are just the things: goals, sense of direction, self-esteem, better self and relationships, motivation, dedication, and grit, and greater resilience. These are all things that I've gotten from reading. And you guys, your mind is such a huge, important role in wellness. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you're in a bad place, if you just feel like that day-to-day boring, what is next kind of feeling, that is how everything else in your life is going to react. That's what everything else is going to do. And so personal development has been so huge for me, and just keeping me in a really positive place, always working for something great and something that's going to benefit my family. So let's talk about some of my favorites. These are going to be backwards to you guys, which is going to probably be kind of annoying, but I can post them. So The Slight Edge is a really great book about kind of just how little tiny changes can turn into a big, huge thing. Just doing one little thing a day adds up to be a super huge change. This is a really good one. I listened to it, but I think it's even better in book form. So, Slight Edge. Another author that I think is really great is John C. Maxwell. He writes a lot. This one's called Failing Forward. This one's called Developing a Leader Within. So he writes a lot of really great books about what failing means and how to get over that and get past that, and learn that you really can't succeed unless you fail. So he's a really good one. I also really like the author Holly Girth. I don't have her books in person because I've been reading them on my phone, but she wrote You Were Made for a God-Sized Dream. Such an awesome book about like self-awareness and confidence. And then I'm reading one right now called 3 Feet from Gold. Such an awesome story, you guys. So, so good. It's kind of a page turner, which sometimes personal development books are not. But that leads me to my very, very favorite. And you guys have heard me talk about him before. But John O'Leary is a phenomenal author. He wrote this book on fire. And I will post his keynote that he did for us at our conference. It's a little bit long, but he has a phenomenal story to share. And this book is quite a few pages, 270, and I read it in like 1 or 2 days. Just super fast read, and a really, really good story. So if you want to start personal development, a book like this is a really good one to start with because it has such a great story and you just are like, you want to stay reading it. You want to stay turning the pages. So if you put a comment below about one thing you think could benefit or could change in your life if you started doing just a little bit of reading, go ahead and put a comment below. One thing you think would change or could benefit from doing a little bit of reading. I am going to raffle off an On Fire book, because it's my absolute favorite. So I will send that to the winner of this raffle. So I hope you guys have an awesome night. I apologize that this was a little bit earlier tonight. Go ahead and tag any of your friends who you think, if you guys want to start a book club, a couple of you read the book together. I would be happy to start that as well because you guys, it seriously has just changed my whole life. So those of you that said getting up in the morning has changed so many things for you, I'm telling you that reading is going to change even more. So jump online, find yourself a really good book. If you need some author suggestions, let me know. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome night. I will see you next Tuesday.